Business Insider posted an opinion piece this week titled, "I am a mother of 2 kids and my student debt is crushing my family. Forgiving student loans will help us escape the cycle of poverty." Giving me a bar of gold would help escape my cycle of poverty as well, but I digress. Anybody following Business Insider for a number of years knows that this publication is no longer just about business, and instead it's a propaganda machine pushing leftist ideals and things that have nothing related to business. Sadly but surely, lots of publications go this route because it's no longer about providing high-quality content within the genre in which you built your publication, but instead it's about drawing the most attention, causing the most clicks, causing the most outrage, and posting polarizing topics that are going to draw attention to your social media accounts and draw attention to the content on your website. So I read this article and the logic in it is garbage. This is the exact same mindset that just has people going, "Wow, I feel so bad for this person. Oh my God, that's so sad that happened to her. Yeah, we should just cancel all student debt for every single person. Yeah, that would only be fair because of this one person's sob story." She says Biden has pledged to forgive $10,000 of student loan debt, but it is not enough. After graduating college, I was hit by legal fees for my divorce, which caused me to default on my loans. That's a personal problem that has nothing to do with your college loan. I went to graduate school to get a higher paying job, and now the interest on my loans is bearing me. I want a better future for my kids. Kids, a personal decision. Graduate school, you would hope that you went to graduate school to get a job that would pay you more money to help you pay off those loans, okay? First, she sets the stage for sadness, the sob story, telling about how on Christmas morning her kids had to open identical presents and it was sheets, and they were excited to get new sheets. She says paying for dance class or taekwondo means that they don't replace sheets and towels very often, and that they eat a lot of beans and rice. A pair of sheets could be $20, $30. Then we start getting into the real meat of the article. Like many other Americans, I'm what you'd call a permalancer. I juggle part-time jobs and short-term contract gigs to keep myself afloat. Maybe you should just get a full-time job, Emily. In 2018, I made a grand total of $18,811 for the year. In 2019, I managed to make $22,908. Emily, I thought you went to graduate school. Keep in mind the average annual salary for a McDonald's employee is $33,000 and she's managing to make only 60% of that, but okay, let's continue. She said, going without is my main strategy, but this approach can't solve my student loan debt. Repaying the $81,000 I owe feels utterly impossible. She graduated in a small college in New Mexico in 2007 with $25,000 in student loan debt, which is about average for most graduates. I was raising 2 children under the age of 4, got divorced 6 months after graduating, but soon secured a stable job that paid $26,000 a year. Look, I'm not trying to be mean, but having 2 children at that time when you're also in debt, again, a personal decision. And getting divorced, being married in the first place, again, a personal thing. That is a personal decision. I know it's unfortunate, but what does this have to do with every single other person in America, every other taxpayer subsidizing your student loan debt because you decided to have 2 kids and you decided to get married and then subsequently get divorced? That has nothing to do with student loan debt. Not to mention the fact that $26,000 a year, though maybe a stable job, is not a lot of money for a person with a college degree. Did you need the college degree to get the $26,000 a year job? Again, these are personal decisions. What degree did you get, Emily? Why did you accept that job? Why did you not look for a different job? Could you have moved to another area where you could have gotten a job that paid more money? What's the costs in your area? Is $26,000 a lot in that area? There's a lot of things that are not known yet. Then she starts talking about how her ex-husband began filing aggressive and frequent court filings related to their divorce. With careful budgeting, she managed to pay over $60,000 in legal debt, but there was nothing left for student loans, and she began defaulting on them. Unable to pay the loans and not willing to go to court with them, she decided to add more debt to her debt. Then she says when she looked for higher paying work, every job in her field required a master's degree. She looked for months before deciding that grad school was her ticket to financial security. Again, a personal decision that involves her taking on more debt. In addition to that, this is the type of information that would have been helpful when you graduated with the first degree, knowing that every job in your field will require a master's degree. That's the type of thing that you should look into before you make personal decisions about taking on large quantities of debt. Again, a personal decision that does not mean that every taxpayer needs to subsidize your lack of research. I'm just saying. So she moves to Montana to go to graduate school, receives enough aid to cover tuition tuition, but then takes out more loans to cover rent and bills. Again, a personal decision that hopefully should lead her to more income. In 2015, she graduates graduate school owing $43,000. Remember, she graduated college the first time in 2007, so it took her 8 years to go and make money and then finish graduate school, and still has all this debt. Now, I know she went to court, and I understand that she had 2 small kids, and I understand that she's a single parent, but 8 years of time, I'm just saying. Now, 5 years later, the interest on my loans have snowballed, and now I owe almost $81,000. Now, it's 2021. This loan has been open for 14 years, and this person had a graduate degree in 2007. Then, without fail, the next paragraph is titled, "Student Loan Debt is Tied to Inequality." And she talks about how women hold 2/3 of all student loan debt, and that student loan debt is far greater for Black Americans. These things have absolutely nothing to do with her personal decisions, her story, or anything related to this article at all. In addition to that, using statistics like that do not take into account a variety of other factors. If you just bundle people into woman or their race, you're not taking into consideration any of those other factors. You're just using this top line item as a way to justify your position using statistics. Not only would forgiving student loans keep more people housed and fed, but it would also help narrow the gender wealth gap and the racial wealth gap. Emily, I don't know that you're qualified to make a claim like that, first of all. Also, that has nothing to do with this article, your story, or student loan debt. Just saying that if some people had more money, that it would supposedly close this gap is not relevant at all. Naysayers argue that student loan forgiveness wouldn't be fair to people who have paid their loans off, but it's a move that would boost the economy and benefit everyone, she says. Yo, it wouldn't be fair to people that paid their loans off. And how exactly are you proposing that this would boost the economy? Also, what qualifications do you have that help you understand that that is the case? And what do you mean benefit everyone? How does that benefit everyone? Who it would benefit is the people who took out these loans, the college institutions that would be able to continue charging exorbitant and inflated prices for college degrees that are decreasing in value by the day. And it would also help the banks because they would just be paying off all of this outstanding debt. This is not boosting the economy. Then she quotes Debt Collective, a union organizing around debt forgiveness, and says, "Most people are not in debt because they live beyond their means. They are in debt because they've been denied the means to live." She says this should not be a partisan issue. I do not understand how Emily is being denied the means to live. There are so many things in this article that clearly show why she is in this predicament in the first place. And it is not because of predatory student loans. It is because of personal decision. This person graduated college in 2007 with a degree. And here we are 14 years later, and she is only making $22,000 a year. And this is after she took on more debt to get a graduate degree. This person has a graduate degree and makes $22,908 a year. That's a personal decision, Emily. Maybe you shouldn't have gone and gotten that degree. What did you get that degree in? What did you get that graduate degree in? Who told you to make that decision? I thought all of the jobs in your field required a master's. You're going to go get a master's to make $23,000 a year? There's a lot of holes in this story, and a lot of her problems have to do with personal decisions that has absolutely nothing to do with the taxpayer or other people subsidizing this. She is not being denied the means to live. She is being denied the means to live by herself and her own personal decision. She has had 14 years to pay these loans off. She made a bad decision about the degree that she got in the first place, an even worse decision taking on more debt to get the graduate degree, an even worse decision taking on loans to pay rent, bills, and utilities instead of just paying that loan down and then waiting to get that degree, which she took 8 years to go get that graduate degree after in the first place. You're talking about a 13-year, 14-year delta of time of which it appears that she's paid nearly none of these loans off, made really bad decisions about about the degrees that she's going to get, had 2 kids, and got divorced. These are personal decisions, Emily. So with a graduate degree, making $22,908 a year with $81,000 of debt, instead of using that time to go and make more money, she uses her free time to write this opinion piece for Business Insider, where all she does is complain about the cycle of poverty that she's in. In the time that it took her to write this article, she probably could have made more money and started paying down those debts. Personal decisions, victim, 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 woe is me, inequality, gender, racial, whatever. This is garbage. This is the logic that got us in this problem in the first place. I don't understand what all these people are complaining about. This is trash. But nope, she expects you to subsidize her decisions. She expects Joe Biden with a swipe of a pen to help have every single one of us American taxpayers subsidize her life decisions to help her out of poverty. Here's a newsflash. Even if she got $50,000 of student loan debt, she would still have $31,000 of debt, and $22,000 a year of income is not going to help make a dent in that anyways. You need to get a better job, Emily, and stop complaining and expecting other people to pay off your decisions.